Hi, welcome to the Shelly Studio. Today I thought I would do some gel printing, and I have some plants from the backyard that I thought would be fun to play around with. And I haven't really done this very much, maybe once or twice. And so I thought I would just give it a try before, fall really hits and the leaves all get dry. So I'm just messing around. I used craft paint for the blue, and then I have this metallic. It's really metallic. But I need to use them, right? I bought them on clearance. I got every color I could. Look at me, I can't line up a piece of paper. But I haven't been using them, so I thought I would just play with them and use them here. I like that color combo, so I thought maybe I would do it again in the reverse. So this time I'm putting the copper color down and pulling the leaf print in the reverse. Hope that makes sense. So how's everyone today? I hope you're doing well. Today has been a good day. It was nice outside. Got a little bit hot, but otherwise not bad at all. You might see my hand go up towards the camera every once in a while. I actually have like a cordless body cooling fan that my cousin gave me one year for my birthday. And I have it hanging from the same stand that my camera is on. And when I'm ready to start drying the page, the print, I turn it on. So I tried to edit those out, but you might see them every once in a while. So what do you think of that one? That one didn't look too bad, right? And my craft paints, I've told myself I'm not buying any more craft paint. And they are getting fairly old. I decided I was going to take this clump and just do the whole clump. Probably not the best idea, but like, I didn't have like one of those big flowers or whatever. I've seen people gel print with big flowers and you get this really cool. This doesn't work that way. Plus, I think those colors were too similar. Too much in the same shade. Not enough contrast. And it just kind of looks like a mess, I think. This one is a little bit darker color. And I think I do it again. Because I really wanted to be able to see the seed pods or the leaves on there. But it's still just kind of a mess. This time I am using a darker color, hoping for more contrast so it'll show up a little bit better. And I don't know what this color is called. They have kind of a color shifting sort of feel to them, but they're not quite like the color shift paints. So there's that one. I mean, I like the idea of it. I just don't think the clump is clear enough. Like it doesn't seem like a clear enough image. You don't know what you're looking at. And yeah, taking those paints out with the palette knife, I get a little heavy-handed with that paint. So I usually end up with too much on the plate. This time it's the silver one. Kind of looks like chrome, I think. And yeah, I'm taking off another layer because there was too much paint. So I do allow these to dry. Like I said, I have a fan above, and I allow them to dry before I move on to the next one. So here I have some craft paint in purple. Silver and purple, that should be a good combination, right? And I know it looks like I'm just doing it really quickly, but I am allowing that to dry, just so you know. And most of the prints are done on the wet strength tissue paper. This time it's the blue metallic. I'm trying to lift more paint off this time. And I'm just going to go with the seed pods. Called them helicopters or propellers or something. Played with them when we were kids. Yeah. So this time I thought it would be kind of fun to make do a layered pull. So that's where you put down multiple layers and then you pull it all, the finished piece up in the end. So I thought I'd put some orange behind the blue so that it would just kind of peek through a little bit. And anywhere I kind of go over the edge, you get a little hint of that orange. So that's why I'm putting it on with a paintbrush. Now where I live, it's really dry. And apparently it was really dry the day I did this because when I'm brayering layers on, it kind of pulls paint. So this is, I think it's considered a soft body. This is a Hippie Crafter paint. And I don't have enough on there. It needed to be juicier. Because see, all of a sudden, wham wham. It took all of that off. So what I decided to do was to paint the silver back on the seed pods and stamp them onto my plate. So that's how I'm getting around this problem. I'm just doing each side individually, hoping. It's not as heavy as the original, but it'll be interesting because I'm going to add the orange back in. And then I decided to go with a yellow color instead of the blue, since I stamped into the blue. And I make sure it's nice and juicy so that I don't have anything lifting up, hopefully. Okay, nice and juicy. And when you're in a climate where things dry like that, it's kind of what you have to do. So again, I waited for that to dry completely. And there's that one. Kind of cool. Yeah. So after creating that one, I thought I would give it another try. Just slightly different. This time I'm putting the blue down first. Yeah, it's about out of paint. Just scraping it out with a palette knife. This time I am adding some marks to the blue. Just using some homemade stamps. And then putting the seed pod down and lifting the design. And then adding, this time it's the orangey copper metallic. Just making sure it's good and coated, and once it's dry, I add more of that yellow. And pull this print. The other one was much cooler. Okay, so I wanted to place some more, and I really like last year in October, I did a book, and I used a technique where you'd put the paint down and then you'd spritz it with water and then pull the print, and you'd get this really cool effect. Well, it doesn't work quite the same with this silver. It wasn't like moving. So I decided to lift it with a paper towel, and my paper towel has a pattern, and that pattern did transfer. I thought that was kind of cool, actually. So I put down some orange. Now I'm doing the leaves, and I pull, but very, like, I didn't rub too hard. I didn't want to lose what I'd put down prior, so I wasn't really sure how that was going to work. And then I put some yellows, a couple of different shades of yellow behind the leaves, hoping that the leaves would show up because I do this. I don't really think they do. So I'm adding a lighter yellow. I did a couple of shades of yellow. I can't remember if the leaves are actually visible or not. I think there might be a little bit if you look really hard. Like, you can see the texture of them here, but remember, we've got that silver already down. That's going to cover up quite a bit. Sorry, my iPad fell over. Sorry for the extra noise. So this one I am pulling with just some brown craft paint. And I made sure it was nice and juicy. Didn't want anything coming up preemptively, before I want it to. How's that? All right, so it's dry. We'll pull it. And right in the center, that looks like a leaf. And you see the little diamond pattern on there. So here are the pages that I created today. I do take one of them, the cleanup page, this one, that one, the orange one. Decided it needed something to make it a finished piece of paper. And I thought I could do like some black leaves on it. I thought that was a good idea. But it's too dry in my climate for this technique. So the idea, of course, I'm taking off extra paint. If I'd have left it on, maybe it would have been better. So I'm putting the leaves down. I'm going to pull off the background and get the impression. Yes, I know this creates another piece of paper, but we're not going to worry about that right now. Okay, and lifting up. They look really black, right? So I stick this down. This one, I do not wait for it to dry. That might have helped. But I pull it, and it's just kind of grungy. Like, it's not even pretty. So this one, I decided to pull the rest of the black off. And I let that dry. It got wrinkly. It's my cheap copy paper, which doesn't, just gets ripply all the time. So I still want to fix that one that I was working on. So I thought maybe I could overlay it with that wet paint technique. So yeah, interesting how that turns purple, right? Look at all the pattern on there. So I do this and I pull it. This one I let dry, and it's just more grungy, but it's got a sheen to it. So here's what I decided to do. I decided to pull out my leaves, and I'm going to put some, now I think this is parchment or buff parchment. The paint is called parchment. So not white, but close. And the first thing I do is I decide to brayer on it and then print it. That's not working. So now I take a paintbrush and I put it on thicker. Just get it everywhere on there, trying to line it back up. Press it down. It's better. Need more paint for this technique. Hey, you want to use up your paint? This is the technique for you. All right, so we're going to do this one. That's more like what I want. So I'm going to do that a few more times. And this is just finishing up this last piece of paper. So while that's happening, did you like the video? You going to try it? Let me know. I think it's fun to play with the plants and stuff and make marks with them. I love the stamping technique. This is my favorite of the whole thing. And maybe not my favorite print, but my favorite technique. Anyways, I hope you liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Thank you all for watching. I decide one more step on here. I'm going to add quinacridone, nickel azo gold, and do a glaze. I'm just going to give it an autumnal glaze so that parchment doesn't stand out too much. And there we go. I like it. What do you think? Let me know. Give me a comment. Thank you all for watching. I hope you have an awesome day.